As we can see, this is the map. So what we're going to check now is all the roads that are available within Kathmandu Valley. And let's remove the roads. And these are all the buildings. So all the buildings currently include houses and commercial buildings. So essentially these are all the buildings that are within Kathmandu Valley. So what we're going to do now is we're only going to look at this section of the map, because as you can see, everywhere else it's quite scattered and it wouldn't be much worthy for us to pay attention to the scattered areas. So this section of the map seems to be the most dense. Furthermore, what we're going to pay attention to is first of all the ring road area. So let me check that. So let's remove this. So if you just look at the ring road area, first we're going to focus on this. As you can see, this is the most highly dense area that we have. Once the ring road area is done, then what we're going to do is we're going to look at the north side, which is this area. Again, extremely dense, as you can see. Once the north side is done, we're going to look at the west side, which again is the most dense area of the western part. Once that is done, then we're going to look at the south dense part, which is very small. So the density is covered in the smaller region. However, what we can do is we can look at the greater south area as well, which is this area, which is dense but not as dense as the other four areas. So we can look at that as well. And as I showed you before, this is the total grade area. Yeah. So let's go by them one by one, see how each and every one of them turns out. All right, wonderful. So let's first pay attention to just the ring road area, which is this. So if you can see inside, these are all the roads that are available inside the ring road area, which currently I think is around 950 kilometers in total. All the big roads, small roads, footpaths, everything included. It comes around 950 kilometers. Now, if you look at all the buildings available in there, there we go. So these are currently all the buildings available inside the ring road, which I believe is around 110,000 buildings. So that is what 110,000 buildings look like within the ring road. Now what we want to do is we want to go to the north side. So as soon as you go to the north side, there we go. So this is what the roads in the north look like right here. So these are the north roads. Let me get rid of ring roads. So these are the north roads right here. So as soon as you look at the buildings in the north, this is what the buildings look like. So this area should be total road distance, I think is around 250 kilometers. And the number of houses and buildings available in this area is around 25,000 currently. Yeah, so let's get rid of this, let's get rid of that, and let's go to the west side. So this is the west, these are the roads available in the west side right here, and these are the buildings in the west side. So the west side is also, I believe, around 200 kilometers in roads, and the houses are around 22,000. So this is what 22,000 houses would look like. Yeah. So let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Now let's move to the southern side. So like I said, there's two parts to the southern side. One is the smaller side, one is the larger. Let's start with the small. So these are the roads on the small side. I think this equals around 100 kilometers only. And these are the buildings in the south side. This is around 9,000 buildings approximately in this small area of 100 kilometers. Now, if you want to look at the bigger south side, let's get rid of this. So this would be the roads for the larger south side, and these are the buildings in the larger south side. And this also includes around 25,000 houses, but the road area is around 350 kilometers, so longer than north or west, but approximately the same amount of houses. Yeah. So now let's look at everything at the same time. All right. So first we have the roads. There we go. That's the central side. Then we have the north roads. Yeah. And then we have the west roads. Then we have the southern dense roads, the smaller version. And then we have the roads for the larger version. So this is what it would look like in totality. There we go. So this is what it would look like in totality. And as for the houses are concerned, so I think currently all these roads put together should be this around 950 kilometers, this around 250, that would make it around 1200, 1200 plus another 200, that's 1400. Now 1400, if you just take the small area, that's 100, that would make it 1500. But if you want to take the greater area, that's 250 more, so that would be 1750 instead of 1500. Now if you look at the buildings, there we go. This is for central, which is 110,000 buildings. This is for north, which is around 25,000, which would make it around 135,000 buildings. Now we look at the west buildings, which is around 22,000. So that was 110 plus 25 was 135. 135 plus 22 would be 157,000 buildings. Now, if you just want to look at the dense side, the small area, that's 9,000 more. So 157 plus 9 would be 166,000. But if you want to look at the greater area of the south side, that would be around, I would say around 16,000 more houses, which would mean 166 plus 16 would be around 182,000 houses in this total area. So if you get rid of the map in the back, this is what it will look like. If you get rid of all the houses, all the buildings are gone. This is what our final map would look like. That's around 1,700 kilometers in total length. And of course, the fiber would be longer than that. It would be in about 1:2 to around 1:1.5 ratio for fiber to actual kilometer in length. Now, if you want to remove all the, let's put the houses back in, buildings, put them back in, and let's get rid of all the maps now, roads. There we go. So this is what all the houses would look like for the main areas. Now if you want to look at the greater Kathmandu area, then this is what all the houses would look like. Yeah. It should be the greater area, which is the valley currently. There we go. Let's remove the buildings for the greater area. We'll just focus on this right now. nodes back in. There we go. And I know that we've kind of ignored all of Bhaktapur right now, because if you were to actually look at the Bhaktapur area, let's check it out. It doesn't look as dense. You see how this is completely black? So this area doesn't look as dense as the rest. This area seems way more dense. So Bhaktapur area would definitely be a consideration, but maybe sometime in the future, not immediately, just because it's not as dense as these 4 areas. 1, 2, 3, 4 areas. These 4 areas seems way more dense than the Bhaktapur area, so we'll just consider this in a much later plan. Here we go. So finally, this is area 1, this is area 2, area 3, 4, you want to make it bigger, area 5. There we go. And of course, the greater Kathmandu looks like this. Alright.